Hey everyone, and welcome back to Paddle Forward. Today we have a packed agenda where we'll be talking about the latest developments from Paddle and then our newest product releases. You'll hear from some of our customers, as well as a great Q&A at the end with all of you. Declined transactions are the enemy of NRR growth. And we'll never get to this new standard of 109% NRR unless we do something about these failed payments. Failed payments mean that as SaaS companies, we don't get paid, and our customers don't get access to the software that they've bought. Sometimes there are sensible reasons for transactions being declined. For example, if a credit card has been stolen, or there are no funds available in the account. However, sometimes it's not obvious why a transaction has been declined. The card is actually being used by the owner, and there are enough funds in the account to cover the transaction. The issue which results in transactions being declined occurs somewhere in what we call the billing chain. When a payment is made, either through a checkout or as part of a renewal of a subscription payment, the payment passes between different issuing and acquiring banks. Often across geographic borders involving different currencies, they pass through fraud checks requiring authentication, and a whole bunch of other potential hurdles. Today, as part of our revenue delivery platform that we introduced during Paddle Forward in November, we're excited to be announcing Paddle Pilot. Paddle Pilot is a purpose-built solution that intelligently routes payments depending on a range of different factors. Not only that, but if the initial payment attempts fail, say because there are technical issues with the first, then it cascades the payment to an alternative acquiring bank, which increases the likelihood of the payment going through. Our goal in building this was to make recurring payment failures easy and giving you the access to the best payment routing in the world with zero additional work required. No actions are required on your end to enable this. We'll do it all for you in the background.
So let's explain what Paddle Pilot does in order to help our payments be as successful as possible as often as possible. Given the myriad of problems in the payment chain that can cause a failure, as Christian mentioned, the best option is to have multiple routes available. And the key part of Pilot is this. It utilizes our relationships with all of our acquiring banks around the world, which have been established by our dedicated finance team who help set this up and maintain it over time as part of our managed payments solution.
With our branded Inline Checkout, you have some 50-odd controls that allow you to be able to ensure that the end-to-end checkout flow for your buyers is seamless. That exactly how your homepage or any page on your website in terms of the button width or the radius or the color or hovers or active state, any of those things that act and operate one way on your website will act and operate exactly the same way when you get through the final steps of your checkout flow. See, that's the goal of a product like this, right? Is to help enrich your experience and also to help convert your buyers. So what we're seeing in the platform is that a lot of our overlay users are styling a checkout.
We could have just gone with like Paddle's pop-up checkout that kind of is super easy to just throw in there with like a couple lines of JavaScript, but we really wanted to build something that felt like very kind of like on brand and like cohesive with the rest of the site. So we ended up using the inline checkout, which does a lot less for you, because if it did more for you, then you wouldn't have the ability to do like all the customizing. It let us sort of like build our own sort of area that's showing like the total and subtotal and tax and style it kind of however we want and put it wherever we want on the screen instead of worrying about like being kind of constrained in how that stuff shows.
Now, I just wanted to say that we hear you. We noticed from the last live stream the sheer number of comments and questions that we got about testing with Paddle. And we listened. And I'm really happy to introduce Marcus, who's going to be talking about our brand new Sandbox environment.
Coming from an engineering background, I know how important it is to test new integrations in a pre-production environment so you can integrate with new services and have confidence that when you're ready to push to production, everything will work as expected. And today, I'm very excited to announce that we're releasing our Sandbox environment in order to enable this. If you want to introduce something new, such as a billing model, upgrade path, user portal, coupon code, or checkout design, ideally, you don't want to just push it to production environment without testing it first. Doing so could result in it breaking your live environment, which could result in a bad customer experience, or worse, a broken website resulting in customers not being able to make payments. If you want to introduce something new, such as a billing model, upgrade path, user portal, coupon code, or checkout design, ideally you don't want to just push it to production environment without testing it first. Doing so could result in it breaking your live environment, which could result in a bad customer experience, or worse, a broken website resulting in customers not being able to make payments.
Hey everyone, today we're speaking to Moritz, founder of Theme Punch. Moritz, it's so great to be speaking with you, and thanks for joining us for Paddle Forward. I'm super excited for you to share your story today, as well as more on your experience working with Paddle.
We thought that maybe moving to our own shop, it could kind of result in an accounting nightmare. Our accountant kind of got us a little bit scared there, because you have to take care of all the VAT transactions. There's potential credit card fraud, refunds. But so we needed to find someone who could take care of all these points for us and give us a little bit guidance on how to move forward.